Speaking of Vietnam, I brought in a bit of audio today.
Spuds Buckley in the Nam?
No.
Didn't me and you fly a blimp over Hanoi?
No.
And bomb? No? Oh, I thought we did something like that.
Well, we started a bit, I don't know, over a month ago now, old school Opie and Anthony. Basically because I'm finally unloading, boxes and boxes of stuff. And today I bring to the show a radio show from 1970.
I remember that was the year we first got together.
No!
We were in Vietnam.
Old school Opie and Anthony doesn't mean it's all just our stuff.
Oh.
It's just stuff I've had in boxes for a very, very long time, and I found this, and wow, it's Dave Rabbit. This guy, like E-Rock was doing some research on this guy. I had no idea. I've had this tape. Actually, my good friend Stork.
Yes.
Stork from Huntington. He turned me on to this guy, Dave Rabbit, and we've had this tape for years. I've had this tape probably for like 20 years at this point. And I gave it to E-Rock. It's on a cassette, another one of these cassettes, and E-Rock went through it and did some research. And I guess he's a hero on the internet, right?
Yeah, there's been this big thing surrounding him. They never knew who the actual guy was up until a couple of years ago, when the guy finally came out and said, "No, this was
That
me."
was me.
And there's been clips of his broadcast circulated through the military for years, and nobody knew who he was. He has merchandise and everything that he made by hand back in 1970, where he was just drawing on old...
made out of ears and teeth.
No kidding.
He would have some kind of paint, and he would just draw on these old sweatshirts and have Vietnamese kids selling them on the street for like $2-3.
Wow.
And these things are big collector's items. And now he's residing in Dallas, Texas.
So
how old is he?
He's
gotta be 40.
Late 50s.
that's it?
Yeah.
Well, this tape is what, 30?
Wait a minute.
7 to 38 years. No, he's got to be
Late 50s, 1970
Well, maybe.
is 37 years ago.
So he could have been 20.
Okay, I suppose so.
Yeah, I guess.
The youngsters were going to Vietnam, so.
I think he's like 59. 59
All right, that's about right. All right, let's call him right around 60. And this isn't Good Morning Vietnam stuff, by the way, because Jimmy asked me before the show.
No.
This is not high energy. This is a guy that is smoking a lot of weed or dropping something, because he talks about acid a lot.
Some of the dope.
And he's just doing a show for the guys in the field, and these guys are listening on their little transistor radios, wondering if they're going to survive the day.
Yeah. Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why has he got to wear camo if he's on the radio?
I don't know. So his name's Dave Rabbit, and,
He's going on a mission, I tell you, because we were all in camouflage when we bombed that TV station open.
well, we had to take out the communications.
Yes, we did.
Wait,
Brr.
what did you yell at those people again?
I don't remember.
Did anybody-
No, I don't
remember.
I really, I don't remember. What?
Oh.
What? What are you guys doing?
Someone might have a recollection.
What are you doing over there?
What are you doing?
I think someone's remembering maybe what Opie yelled.
I don't remember.
The battle cry.
Well, maybe they can remember in a commercial break, because the pace of the show is killing me. What are you doing?
He doesn't.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm finding something that you.
Oh my God!
Travis.
Get back on the phones,
You lil twink.
Anyway, continuing the old school Opie and Anthony bit we started a while ago. I present you with Dave Rabbit today from 1970, 1971. Just a taste here. We got a bunch of clips.
How did nobody know who he was? Were his pictures new, or were they always out, or no?
No, the pictures only came out a couple years ago. He actually released a letter to a couple of press organizations, stating the history behind the tapes, who he was, etc. Everything but his real name.
Yeah, I need to know more about this guy. So here we go. Dave brings the truth and hard acid rock. Listen to this.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host for the next 3 hours of hard acid rock music, Dave Rabbit. For those of you who have just recently come into the Republic of Vietnam, I'd like to give you a little information about it, so your mind won't be quite so blown when you hear such words as and words of that nature. We're an underground radio station here, and we say what we feel like saying. truth to the first termers in the Republic of Vietnam. We also bring you hard acid rock music all through the night. The up-to-date music of today's American youth.
I like this guy, man.
How
That's
cool
pretty
is
cool.
that? That's not good, but Vietnam.
No, that's like
This is the real deal, man.
that's history.
How crazy is that?
I like that stuff.
Guys, he sounds like he has a cool voice,
Yeah.
like Rod Sterling,
Yeah.
and he just sounds high.
Yeah. Oh, he's probably so goddamn high.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh.
underground, does that mean like he ran it or he was renting space? How does that work? You know how it works?
You know what? I didn't know anything about this guy. E-Rock is actually helping me out.
He tried to get a job on the Armed Force Radio Network. He was interning there.
Which is the Good Morning Vietnam type
Adrian
of guys.
Cornell,
Right.
They wouldn't let him go on the air. They wouldn't let him touch any of the equipment, so he just hung around and watched how they did everything. Through some creative trading, he got some equipment and was renting a room in the back of a whorehouse in Vietnam. And they tiled the studio with these 1-inch tiles and mattresses, so to kind of deaden the sound, so you wouldn't hear all the sex going on around while they were broadcasting. So it's him and two other servicemen are doing their show in the back room and just transmitting. First, they started illegally. They were tapping over the Armed Force Radio Network signal before their time check and everything at 8 o'clock. At 7:59, they were saying Armed Forces opening up a second channel. Flip to 69 on your FM dial there, and listen to Radio First Termer. And then at 8 o'clock, the signal would hit and the radio network would kick in. So then everybody flipped over to 69 and started listening to this for like a year and a half.
Did you intern for them, E-Rock? Because I know you made the rounds a lot of radio stations.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Why did you? This is what's his name? David Rabbit. And I like the garlic butter saw.
Garlic butter saw here in country.
Isn't that a great story? That was underground radio, man. He was like telling the real truth of what was going on, in the field.
What was
This is
his
your
job?
first time in the Republic of Vietnam. Try the garlic butter saw and the acid.
Yeah. You want to hear a little more?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, this is Dave Rabbit. A message from the latrine walls. He used to do he did bits. Simple bits, but it was called A Message from the Latrine Walls, giving you information.
During the night, we're going to be reading some of the things off of latrine walls around the Republic of Vietnam. One
No.
of them. While I'm home, my wife is my right hand. While I'm away, my right hand is my wife. Cooking from the Big 69.
And the Who.
The Who. From the
Yeah.
Opera Tommy. Pinball Wizard.
How cool is that?
As you just blast in a 50 cal over a trench.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, I think they were trying to find this guy, too. He was getting way too popular. They didn't want, they
That's
didn't.
pretty dirty for the day, huh?
Yeah.
Well, there was no FCC, right? You're in the middle of
No,
nowhere.
Of course not.
You want one more before the break?
I want many
Warzone.
more. I love this guy.
This guy's got a great delivery.
More,
Yeah, he's
I
more,
want to
cool.
start doing that.
more Dave Rabbit.
Yeah, let's just all talk as much like him.
Dave Rabbit.
Pinball Wizard by The Who. I've had quite a few letters recently concerning some of the different items that Radio First Termer has to offer his followers. And one of the biggest things is the official Dave Rabbit sweatshirt. For those of you who are unaware of what a Dave Rabbit sweatshirt is, I'll tell you. It's a white sweatshirt. On the front of it, it has a large white rabbit. And the rabbit's is completely The rabbit is carrying a sign. On the sign, it reads, it, before it you. If you'd like one of these Dave Rabbit sweatshirts, send a postcard along with $2.98. Dave Rabbit sweatshirt, Radio Saigon, Underground, APO in Country, 96969. Cream. White
Cream.
And the hits just keep on coming.
How cool is that?
He's my favorite radio person ever.
Yeah, that guy's delivery's great. The material's great.
I've had this tape for over 20 years, man. Finally found it in a box.
Let me ask you a question, though. With this guy, if he's giving out an address and stuff like that, and he's got letters, how could he do that? If the government wanted him gone, they would have traced him. So how did that happen?
From what I understand, a lot of that stuff, the government was having a hard time because it would go to fake businesses or just farm people. Like, here's the address, and then there'd just be a farmhouse there. And they would just drop the mail off at these places, and somebody would eventually come around and pick it up.
Oh, okay.
The guy was just a tech geek that figured out how to freaking do a radio show in the middle of Vietnam. Like a real one.
Do we know his real name now?
No, we're gonna find out more about this guy. But I guess I didn't even know that I have like gold in my possession, because I guess the clips on the internet are really, really bad quality. Yeah. So this is like gold.
It's hard to get this stuff clear, right?
Oh my God! And yeah, supposedly there's more stuff on the internet, but it's really, really bad quality in general. So we're gonna take a break. We'll play more from this tape. Old school Opie and Anthony. Another thing I found as I unloaded boxes the other day. It's Dave Rabbit from 1970, 71, somewhere around there, broadcasting live from Vietnam. And I found this Dave Rabbit tape. It's not about us today. It's about this guy, Dave Rabbit. He did a underground radio show in Vietnam back in 1970, 1971. That was very, very different than what the government was putting out.
Yeah.
And much better than what the government was putting out.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Well,
it blew Adrian Cronauer away.
Yeah, we all know Vietnam radio from, of course, Good Morning Vietnam. And I don't feel like really screaming it. But this guy was doing the complete opposite. He was tripping and just kind of talking like a real person.
Dirty jokes.
Oh yeah, dirty jokes and all sorts of stuff. So let's go right back to the tape. It's Dave Rabbit, 1970, 1971, and he talks about taking a bathroom break here. Listen to this.
Cream with white room.
Oh, he was a chatty Cathy, by the way, because he was talking after every song. I noticed. Oh boy, would the PD have a field day with this guy?
He was talking well into the song too.
Oh, I know, over the vocals. He didn't give a crap. That's why I love this guy. Breaking all the rules.
Yeah.
Cream with white room.
White.
We're gonna let this next one roll on through. Why? Well, for one reason, I've got to go take a big, heavy...
Heavy.
Barring unforeseen incidences that may occur during my trip to the latrine, such as being picked up for marijuana or stopping in and getting a quick with one of the whores down the hall, I'll be back to finish this goddamn program.
I love this guy.
Hilarious. Jesus. He got away with more in Vietnam in 1971 than we do now.
Yeah. But Howard was the first, Of course you were, Howard.
This guy's a shock jock.
Ignore all the people that came before you. That's great. Way to know the biz. Wow, how great is that? Like we explained during the last break, the guy was broadcasting a show from the back of a whorehouse. So hence
Yeah, getting a beep from one of the whores.
What do you want to get? Probably a cup of flour?
Yeah,
marmalade?
Hello? Bar some sugar, please?
Yeah.
Could you put it in your beep?
Let's go to...
Beep.
Never mind.
Let's go to Wes, the trucker. Wes.
Good morning, Bubba Boy.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'll make this quick. Tell me this guy doesn't sound like Space Shuttle Endeavor.
Yeah, a little bit.
Endeavor.
A lot of people saying he sounds like Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Rod Serling. Who else? There's a couple others that came in. Damone?
No, it's all about Rod Serling.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's hear more of this.
All right, here we
That's
go.
all I want to hear.
Well,
let's cancel Lewis Black and cancel Terry O'Quinn and listen to him.
Now we'll play more tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm saving the good stuff for tomorrow, where he's tripping on the air, completely tripping on the air, and openly admitting it because he has no bosses.
I'd love to know who was able to trip in Vietnam. Wow.
Yeah, well,
that would be a creepy trip.
I hear it was very popular.
Oh, well, of course.
Tom just came down the hall and told me I can't mention that because they're not advertised.
This doesn't. It doesn't make good radio to trip on the air.
No,
that's right.
You kidding me? Someone is tripping on the air, and I'm listening every day.
Of course,
every day. Here's we get to meet Captain Ivan Pansy, and he does the weather for Dave Rabbit. I haven't listened to this tape, by the way, in easily 10 years.
Time for another weather report from the 22nd Attachment of the 30th Weather Squadron with Captain Ivan Pansy.
Oh, my darling.
All right, Captain, you're on the air.
Darling. Oh, my darling Clemens. Oh. Thank you, Dave, and good evening, everyone. This is your Midnight Cowboy, Captain Ivan Pansy, with tonight's weather. Stop it, Ralph. Tonight's weather is kind of screwed up, mainly because I've been kind of hopped up on goofballs and haven't made the report up yet. Anyway, we'll give it a go and see how badly I can screw it up tonight. Today's high was 146 degrees in the shade. Don't know what it was in the sun. Wasn't stupid enough to go out in it. Well, tonight's low should get down to 69 degrees. Hey, 69. It sounds like a well-rounded number. The sun will rise at 0645 hours for you lifers and 6:45 a.m. for you first termers. It will shed at 1945 hours for the maggots and 7:45 p.m. for the first termers. Well, Dave, that's about the way it looks on the weather scene for tonight. This is your Midnight Cowboy for the Saigon, the Trang, Phan Rang area, Captain Ivan Pansy, wishing you all a good... excuse me, a good evening. Now, Ralph, now stop it. Now, how many times have I told you to stop it?
Thank you,
Stop
Captain Pansy and Ralph.
Ralph. Thank you, Captain Pansy and Ralph.
Captain Pansy rules.
They were just having a good old time.
You sound like JFK, Captain Pansy.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what he was going for.
Doing little bits and characters. They got a cast.
A cast of characters.
And this was done in 1970?
Yeah, you know.
Don't even friggin' tell me who invented what. Jesus.
It's always been out there, to be honest with you.
Great stuff.
You gotta respect the people that came before you.
I want Captain
and acknowledge
Pansy.
that they did some stuff before
Wow.
you did. What?
I want Captain Pansy to do the weather here every day.
Yeah. Steve.
No, that's General.
He's been promoted.
He sure has.
I've gotten a promotion.
General Fruit. With
I'm a
weather.
4-star pansy.
Let's go.
He got new stripes on his knee pads. I got gold clusters, but they turned out to be warts.
Let's go to Jason in Carolina. Jason.
Hey, boys.
Hey.
I wondered if Dave Rabbit ever cruised around Vietnam in a blimp.
All right. That's not nice.
That's right. We're going to drop these bras on you, mother huggers.
Yeah. The
F-U-A-B-U, I hate you,
Oh.
was the, just in case you're wondering.
Oh, my God.
There's your answer, Jimmy. Nick in Cleveland, what's up? Good morning to you.
Hey, O&A, what's going on?
Hey,
What's
man.
up, Nick?
Hey, I just want to tell you guys, first time listening to you live in Cleveland, and I'm glad you guys are back, man. We
Thank
brought
you,
something
sir.
specifically to hear you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just want to tell Jimmy that we're coming to see him, House of Blues, second show, dude. I can't wait to see you, man.
Thank you very much, man. Both of those shows are sold out, so I appreciate
House
you
of
getting
Blues.
House of Blues.
Yeah,
Nice.
We're very excited about being live in Cleveland. I can't stress that enough, man. It's been way too long because we've been on tape delay in afternoons, but we haven't been able to talk to the people in Cleveland.
I'm able to communicate,
for a while,
have the people contribute, call in. It's nice. Really is. We've always had a very good rapport with our Cleveland fans.
Yeah, it's a sick city. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Kevin in Connecticut. Kevin, what's up?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Sorry to bother you at work.
Yeah.
Can we find this stuff online somewhere? It's got beeps in it on the radio.
Did you just say I hate to bother you at work?
Well, first of all, I do have the.
That's a very funny line to tell a radio show.
Yeah. I do have the uncensored stuff that we're going to play a little bit later on.
A little later, huh?
And I'm starting to learn that I got gold in my hand here. I don't know if I want to just throw it on the internet.
Oh.
Maybe it's time to make a buck or two.
Jeez.
No, I'll throw it out there. We'll figure it out. Maybe throw a couple clips on onaradio.com later today, because I think Stephen S. wants it for the rundown.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and then we'll put the whole thing that I got. I only got one show. I mean, one show. I got about 30 clips. That's about it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think it's great. Let's go back to a matter of
You know
fact.
how many lost breaks there are? How many lost air checks and just things that no one ever recorded?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gone.
Just from my dopey radio career, I'm like, why wasn't I taping?
Well, you think you feel bad. You know some of the original Tonight shows, the dummies at NBC wanted to save money on tape, so they just started taping years ago over some of the original Carsons there are no copies in existence.
So dumb.
Oh, there's audio?
Wow.
Why didn't the people that came before us realize that maybe somebody wants to listen to this crap someday?
Eventually.
Because then they do that with the honeymooners too. There's a few that they just don't have tapes of or something like that, or they got very, very strange versions of it.
Probably some of the originals, maybe from the Jackie Gleason show.
Maybe,
and they were doing sketches.
All right, let's get back to Dave Rabbit, 1970-71, underground radio from Vietnam. This is good. Another message from the latrine walls. His bit.
Cactus. You can't judge a book by looking at its cover. Here's another quickie from the latrines in the Republic of Vietnam. This guy writes, fighting for someone else's freedom is like for someone else's virginity. Power.
What did he say?
Hold on, I'll show you.
Something power? Oh, you're writing it down? Oh, wow. Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
Basically, he said, power.
Yeah.
But use the T word for that.
After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleanser lotion. In the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser, then a honey almond body scrub, and on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub.
What is that?
Patrick Bateman.
They're picking up on your nail filing, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're really freaking out.
What the hell is that?
In caps, they're going,
What do you got in there, a beaver?
Enough with the nail filing.
Oh, I'm sorry,
About
guys.
the filing.
I was just doing it because I don't have, my girlfriend always complains that my nails are too long. I apologize, guys.
That's hysterical.
Me and Jimmy are just filing away. I'm not filing nails, though. That's kind of...
Well, you're filing a scab. That's healthy.
That's kind of gay. I'm just filing a scab. Well, yeah, so I can't pick it anymore. It's time to, make this go away.
How about just you don't pick it?
Yeah,
Well, that would be wonderful,
and it goes
Jimmy.
away.
How about you go, I'm not going to pick it?
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I would love to do that. But obviously I can't. So now I got to go to this stage where I file it down so it's so smooth I can't get at anything.
Okay.
And then it'll go away, hopefully.
I'll put the file down. My apologies. I didn't know that was going on over the air.
No.
Had I known, I would have done this.
Dave Rabbit would love you.
Oh, no, Rabbit. Yeah, he would.
All right, we got two more clips, and then we got to take a break. Then we get Louis Black in here, and all hell's going to break loose. I guarantee that.
Oh,
and then we're going to save the rest of the clips for tomorrow, and hopefully we're going to get Dave Rabbit on our show. E-Rock's in communications with this guy. Dave has a complaint right here.
This is so goddamn long. I could have gone downstairs and got a shot of back. Rambling.
What is that? And you laughed.
A shot of back?
What is that?
It sounds like he could have got one of the whores.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was a drug reference. I've never heard shot of back before.
Could be a drink over there. Back could be some kind of Vietnamese, corn liquor or something. Who knows?
Yeah. All right.
I instantly thought it was sexual.
Yeah, well, it might be. He was complaining because the song was way too long. Because, this guy liked to talk. Oh, this was in the middle of the song?
The song was still going. It was like 6 minutes in, and then he just comes on and says how annoyed he is.
That's great.
I love this. You sure this guy isn't related to me? Just seems annoyed at everything.
This is so goddamn long. I could have gone downstairs and got a shot of back.
A shot of back.
Rattling on with more music. Iron Butterfly. Soul Experience. Speed kills. Slow down. Smoke grass.
Smoke grass. Just babbling into the mic.
And don't ruin it for me and show me a current day picture of this guy. I just want...
Oh, I got an image.
Really?
He's hardcore.
You think?
Yeah. If anything happened, he could pick up a rifle and take care of business.
He's living in the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
I saw him already.
And?
No, huh?
Oh, boy. Don't ruin it for me.
I won't. Dr. Steve. I won't.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I'm not going to ruin it for you.
He looks like anyone's father.
Dr. Steve.
Oh, boy. All right, one more
Steve
clip.
looks like an intellectual.
Yeah, he is. He's a doctor.
Yes.
They're known to be bright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he graduated high school.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Iron butterfly, soul experience. Lifers are like flies. They both eat and bother people.
So subtle, man. That's a great delivery.
They both eat blank and bother people. Wow.
And bother people. That is hilarious.
That is
Lifers.
good. Lifers.
Butterfly, soul experience. Lifers are like flies. They both eat and bother people.
And bother people.
Thank you, Pete.
Did you hear that? What was that? Pete in the background going, right on. Thank you, Pete.
Do you like Huey Lewis in the news? This is off of sports.
All right, you know what? We got to play a couple more.
Of course we do.
We got a lot more, but we'll at least play the tripping on air. This is him tripping.
Are people
on
liking this? I hope they are, man. This guy's fantastic.
I think they are. What's the feedback saying? Yeah, they're digging this. It's different.
Yeah. It's cool. It's like we're the History Channel today.
Yeah, well, it's part of our old school Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Just stuff I've been finding as I
love this
unload
guy.
boxes
Great.
of crap. Oh, that's obviously him. He's he's just what is that? Funk 69 or something like that? Funk 49? James Gang, right? He's just messing around with James Gang.
Yeah.
Dave Rabbit, 1970.
Number 69, James Gang. Sorry about that yelling and screaming, but Pete and I are on a trip, and we thought we'd have to get in on that song. Here's one done by the Biggie, Three Dog Night. It's called Mama Told Me Not to. Now, you can take this two ways. As a title, or your girlfriend's name is Mama.
That's great. You ever hear the song?
Wait, can you play?
They probably didn't have to beep that out, but just trying to keep it
Can you
safe.
play that again? Is it possible?
Yeah, sure.
You know the Three Dog Night song?
No, let me hear. Let me see if I can figure it out. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not going to look at the board.
Mama told me not to.
If I have to play it again, I didn't.
Funk number 69, James Gang. Sorry about that yelling and screaming, but Pete and I are on a trip, and we thought we'd have to get in on that song. Here's one done by the Biggie, Three Dog Night. It's called Mama Told Me Not to. Now, you can take this two ways. As a title, or your girlfriend's name is Mama.
I figured it out.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very famous song, by the way, so I think most people figured it out.
Yeah.
You know.
What a funny joke.
One more. We'll do
That's great.
We'll do the PSA and then we'll leave it.
Very clever.
Leave it here, and then we'll do more Dave Rabbit tomorrow. Underground Radio from Vietnam, 1970, and hopefully get him on the show tomorrow.
It's like the Ron Bennington of Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
So he's got a line.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Charlie don't surf.
The fez.
Hey, fez.
People are confused by all the cursing, but this was underground, man. You can do whatever the hell you want. Okay, here we go. The last one for today. We got more for tomorrow. Don't worry.
Blowing a little grass now. Going back into music by Steppenwolf called The Pusher. Speaking of The Pusher, brothers and sisters, if you happen to be down by the Magic Finger Lounge anytime tonight, keep away from the Korean at the front door. He's pushing some bad H. I repeat, he's pushing some bad H.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
That's good knowledge, right?
He got his ass handed to him.
Huh?
I bet he got his ass handed to him.
You think?
Guy at the door.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll have more tomorrow, but we'll leave it at that. How cool is that? That cool?
Amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Guy's got a great delivery.
We gave some of the background info on him earlier.
I'm trying to listen to my new Robert Palmer tape.
Yeah. Studio.
This is Studio.
Yeah.
Some say it's Phil Collins' best work. No one beats Patrick Bateman.
I didn't like the spoken word. The book is one of my. I read the book 3 times.
I know that the book is
Have you read
different than no.
It's much more graphic. I never saw the whole film.
That's what I hear.
Oh.
But I just love Christian Bale as that psychopath. He's hysterical. The way he delivers his lines, I'm confused.
Yeah. Earlier this morning, did you hear us playing the Dave Rabbit tapes?
No.
Oh, this guy's the fucking greatest.
Shit, this is good. Seriously, we're going to all relate.
Apparently, this is very rare, too.
Supposedly, I got 1 of 2 copies, I'm learning.
Wait.
I don't know. It was this guy, Dave Rabbit. He was in Vietnam, and he did an underground radio show.
Oh, is this the guy I just...
And he was smart enough. Where's Z-Rock? He's got all the info on the guy, but basically, he just was doing underground radio. He did the show...
In Vietnam?
Vietnam.
Out of a whorehouse, right?
Out of a whorehouse. A back room of a whorehouse. Here's Z-Rock to just reset the bit.
Z-Rock, reset. Go.
Yeah, just a really interesting guy. We don't know much about him, but we're finding more info online as we speak.
Yeah, he rented out the back room of a whorehouse, built the bedroom into a studio with mattresses and tile to prevent you hearing sex going on around in the rooms around him. And he would just broadcast, sometimes illegally, on the Armed Force Radio Network signal. And I was reading online. It turns out his show was more popular outside of Vietnam. Like in Germany and other European countries where people were stationed, they used to trade these tapes around. So somebody was taping them in Vietnam and then mail them out all throughout the service.
Well, was he like the Good Morning Vietnam guy?
No, completely,
but he's not completely different.
Completely the other side.
Why did I hear? I just heard about him.
Instead of high energy, he was tripping.
He was
high. He was really mellow, but really witty, really funny with the one-liners.
Can we have one? I want to hear him.
Well, this is the one that we had to bleep on the other side, but we have new ones for over here where he talks about like hand jobs, blow jobs, the latest specials that the whorehouse is running. But here's Dave Rabbit from 1971 in Vietnam.
How cool
Guys
is
in the
guy?
field are just listening to this shit as they're hoping that they're going to survive another day.
Funk number 69. James Gang. Sorry about that yelling and screaming, but Pete and I are on a trip, and we thought we'd have to get in on that song. Here's one done by the Biggie, 3 Dog Night. It's called Mama Told Me Not to Come. Now you can take this 2 ways. As a title, or your girlfriend's name is Mama.
How great is that?
Wow.
Yeah. 1970 or 71.
Yeah.
But in Nam,
Yeah.
in a warehouse.
Yeah. Which clips do we have to bleep
It's
out that are
amazing
really
The
good,
lifers, the lifers are like flies. That's a funny one too.
Oh, wait. This is
Yeah.
this one we should replay, the T-shirt, because they had to bleep the shit out of it today.
Think about it. Now, how long did it take to come to the surface?
Okay.
when you think
It's
about
on the
it.
net. I mean, it's probably been circulating on tape, and then with the internet.
I've had a copy of this for 20 years. And
Have you really?
I found it in a box.
You don't even know where you got it, do you?
My buddy Stork, who got it from some guy in the Buffalo area, who might have another tape. We're hunting it down.
Because if he'd been on, like, let's say it was today, if this was today, and he was doing this like 2 days after he did the first, show,
And
it would be
YouTube or
around the
something.
world.
Yeah, I know.
It's
amazing how this was traded around back in the day. This is 70.
Yeah, it's
you gotta mail
extraordinary.
this shit. Get the postage right and all that crap instead of pushing a button on your computer.
From Vietnam.
Yeah. I think we might talk to him tomorrow. We're hoping.
Wow.
But here's one where he was selling. He got so popular, he had stuff he was selling. This is a sweatshirt.
He was selling stuff.
Yeah, he was a marketing genius too.
Pinball Wizard by The Who. I've had quite a few letters recently concerning some of the different items that Radio First Termer has to offer his followers. And one of the biggest things is the official Dave Rabbit sweatshirt. For those of you who are unaware of what a Dave Rabbit sweatshirt is, I'll tell you. It's a white sweatshirt. On the front of it, it has a large white rabbit. And the rabbit's dick is completely hard. The rabbit is carrying a sign. On the sign, it reads, "Fuck it, before it fucks you." If you'd like one of these Dave Rabbit sweatshirts, send a postcard along with $2.98 to Dave Rabbit Sweatshirt, Radio Saigon, Underground, APO In Country, 96969.
Wow.
Cream. White Room.
Wow.
That guy is funny.
That's funny.
That guy is funny.
Yeah, his slogan was "The hits keep on coming." There's the T-shirt behind you there.
Fuck it before
The actual
fucking
T-shirt. I
old.
want my brother to make a version of this shirt.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking look at the big fucking cock of the rabbit.
That's
Jesus,
funny.
How about, can we get,
he has
the
more
one with
balls
the-
than Lance Armstrong.
Opie, stop. That was
jeez.
Lewis.
I'm sorry, his friend.
Gee.
Yeah.
Hey, do we have any, I want that clip with the flies. The lifers are like the
Yeah,
flies.
that's the one I was asking about. E-Rock?
I think it's the second message from the latrine.
It's 22 maybe. All right, we're going to play new clips because I know people have been with us all morning. We got new clips just for XM where they're talking about the hand jobs, the blow jobs.
This is just online. You can just pick it up.
I
do you buy it?
I don't know.
You can download that.
I found the tape, brought
Wow.
it in, and I had no idea how popular the guy actually is still. So
That's why.
here we go. He did this bit called "Message from the Latrine Walls," just reading what people are writing on walls in the bathroom.
steal it.
Cactus. You can't judge a book by looking at its cover. Here's another quickie from the latrines in the Republic of Vietnam. This guy writes, "Fighting for someone else's freedom is like fucking for someone else's virginity."
That's not the one. No.
What power?
Oh, that's the one we had to bleep earlier
twat
too.
power?
Twat power. But
What power?
hey, yeah, we got their attention. For the love of God, please go to abovetopsecret.com. Dave has a radio show on this site. We'd love to have you here. Come on over. Dave is still as crazy as ever. I'm a moderator there. Contact me to Elevate Done, something like that.
Oh.
We got his contact.
I contacted Dave directly last night, so we're gonna try
Does
to
he
get him on
sound
tomorrow.
insane?
It took a while before he would confess that it was really him. Like he kept fishing for information from me before he would talk to me.
What is he hiding out?
He's been hiding out. Yeah, he's got the Vietnam mentality. You know?
Wow.
He's like still living the dream.
Yeah,
bro.
look out.
He's
They might still come and
living the
grab you.
dream.
He's still living the dream.
He's afraid of getting grabbed.
No kidding. Do you blame him? Where's the other one, Iraq? Maybe it's this one? All right, hold on. We're going to... A couple more clips from Dave Rabbit.
During the night, we're going to be reading some of the things off the latrine walls around the Republic of Vietnam. Here's one of them. While I'm home, my wife is my right hand. While I'm away, my right hand is my wife. Cooking, from the Big 69, The Who. From the rock opera Tommy, Pinball Wizard.
Who's cooler than this fucking dude?
No shit.
It's unbelievable.
Playing all new music.
Oh, yeah. For the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like...
No, it's unbelievable.
Brand new from The Who.
Yeah, he's...
Cream with White Room. We're gonna let this next one roll on through. Why? Well, for one reason, I've got to go take a big, heavy crap. And barring unforeseen incidences that may occur during my trip to the latrine, such as being picked up for marijuana, or stopping in and getting a quick fuck with one of the whores down the hall, I'll be back to finish this goddamn program.
Wow.
He would have fit in with us, man.
Yeah,
This goddamn program.
And where's he working now?
He's. We don't know. We're trying to find out more
Is
about
he just on the web doing it?
He's
I
doing a
believe so.
podcast.
Yeah, it's like a podcast.
Wow.
Where's the one about
who
the
wouldn't
shit?
fucking want this guy on?
Why doesn't satellite radio hire him?
Maybe it's the third.
Yeah.
Fucking man, for a guy like that, he's just great. What am I talking about?
Where is it?
I'm boring myself. I could have just stopped there to why doesn't satellite hire him?
Why did you work as his manager?
I just spiraled out of control.
Yeah.
I had nothing to say.
He talks about the lifers. Oh, I think this is it right here. Okay.
I love this one.
Well, actually, let me play this one too, because these are all unedited. Way better when you hear the curses.
This motherfucker is so goddamn long.
Oh, he got annoyed because he played a really long record. I don't recognize the song. So in the middle of it, he just pops the mic on. He's like, this motherfucking song is goddamn too long.
This motherfucker is so goddamn long. I could have gone downstairs and got a shot of back. Rambling on with more music.
By the way, my buddy Stork, who gave me the tape, he said get a shot of Mac, not back.
Yeah.
And it is a heroin or a drug thing. So
that I didn't
This
know.
motherfucker is so goddamn long. I could have gone downstairs and got a shot of back. Rambling on with more music. Iron Butterfly. Soul Experience. Speed kills. Slow down. Smoke grass.
Smoke grass.
just underground shit, man. Not government radio.
That's extraordinary. And that nobody. What's amazing is that I am just hearing about it this morning.
Yeah, I never heard of this guy.
I never heard of him.
No.
And I had friends there.
One more clip before we give you a couple new ones. This is, I think, the one we finally. I love this about the shit.
Iron Butterfly. Soul Experience. Lifers are like flies. They both eat shit and bother people. Thank you, Pete.
He's got his fucking high friend in the background, Lois. He goes, you missed it. He goes, right on. Listen to the background.
Pete.
Iron Butterfly. Soul Experience. Lifers are like flies. They both eat shit and bother people. Wow. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
What delivery this fucking
Guy
dude
is a
has.
He's great
scream.
delivery.
This guy was having a ball. All right.
And bother people. And bother people.
Finally,
Bother me.
finally, new clips, because people have been with us all morning. These 3 clips are for XM only, man. Talking about the hand jobs, the blow jobs. Here's more of Dave Rabbit from 1970, 1971 when he was in Vietnam doing underground radio for everybody.
Tonight's news comes from both Saigon and the Phan Rang areas. First off, from Saigon, we find that a new massage house has recently opened up near the Korean tailor shop. The following services are available. steam bath, back massage, hand jobs, and blow jobs. Hours are from 0700 hours for maggots, 7 a.m. for first-termers, until 1630 hours for maggots, and 4:30 p.m. for first-termers. Reservations may be made by calling extension 2269.
Wow.
And now from Fan Rang area, here's Nugent.
The Natang flights have been reopened and have a new Champagne flight that leaves Fan Rang at 8 a.m. It will operate on a first-come, first-go basis. The commander also recommends that you take an ample supply of rubbers, as they have a shit pot full of new whores at the bars. The commander's motto, keep the morale high on the base.
And that's the news for this early edition.
Wow.
Next news will be later on. Next local news will be later on, too. Good night, Nugent.
Good night, Dave.
And good night for this early edition of Radio First Termer News.
Wow.
A shit
Right
pot.
at the end there, with the news, he cuts his signal. So every time he does the news thing, he goes right into static, and then before it cuts out and goes dead.
Why?
He only broadcasts for a certain amount of hours a day. So I guess when he does the news is pretty much towards the end of his broadcast, and then he just flips the switch and his signal goes dead.
Wow.
Sounds like he did it yesterday. It sounds it's more modern than what the shit we have to listen to now.
Well, yeah.
That's great.
Then you got Howard saying he invented this whole thing. Obviously, this shit was being done a long time ago. You got to acknowledge the people that came before you, man. Holy crap, this guy was an original.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ever had a real radio career after he got back from the war and stuff.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he went by another name and was kind of doing more legit shit. I don't know. No who would know is get stupid Abrams on the phone.
Lee.
You know Lee Abrams?
Yeah.
Stupid Abrams. He bores us with his stories, but we'll give it a shot today.
But he does know his shit.
He knows his shit. That's what I'm getting at.
He does know his shit.
Yep. He just bores you. Don't
he knows, though.
Don't ask him about flying. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Here's Dave Rabbit's philosophy. And he does theater listings. I can only imagine what movies he's reviewing here.
Here's a Dave Rabbit philosophy. Pussy is the breakfast of champions. Well, it's time to take a look and see what's happening at the Viking Theater at Fan Rang, the theaters at Saigon, the Trang, and the Cam Bay area. Tonight, the movie is Lust, Sex, and Greed, starring Bridget Bardot, Samantha Abbott, Tim Conway, Jonathan Winters, and Hugo Montenegro. Coming up the following night is Bambi, a Walt Disney production of A Little Deer and How He Got Shafted. The next one is Fear and Chills as the blood of Dracula rolls down on all of the patrons. Here's a chance to really throw some money away.
Wow. My fucking favorite, this guy.
Guy is great.
Right on.
Rabbit.
You want more or what?
Yes.
All right.
Of course.
Here's another quickie from the latrine. The carnal act of sex is held to be sacred. Eating pussy is perversion. Signed, Omar. Someone wrote under this, "Is something happening here?" Omar died from syphilis of the tongue and throat. Ladies and gentlemen, say good evening to Buffalo Springfield.
Wow. Hey, that's a cool way to intro a record right there. That's pretty fucking cool, man.
This guy's amazing.
Yeah. Fucking cool. You know what? Fuck it. Let's play the rest of this shit.
It's really good.
It really is. We got just a few more. We'll play the one from earlier, the public service announcement.
They got fucking. There's no clips to this guy anywhere.
We're finding more. There's more online. E-Rock's going through it tonight. We should have more tomorrow, hopefully.
Only because I heard that there's always you can always get his stuff in Albany on Friday night at the Egg.
Shit, Jimmy, I fell right for it.
What?
Yeah, the Egg in Albany.
I'm a fucking rookie.
Man,
and what night are they getting extras in?
Yeah, really.
Well, this Friday, apparently, they're giving a lot of them. I happen to be there, but it's irrelevant.
You're going to have copies of the Dave Rabbit tape for everybody?
Oh, yeah, for free. And the t-shirt. 518-473-1845.
45.
Wow.
People are calling. Look at my shirt.
Yeah, we got to get those shirts printed. My brother could probably rip them off.
Oh.
Not getting any money.
Blowing a little grass now. Going back into music by Steppenwolf called The Pusher. Speaking of The Pusher, brothers and sisters, if you happen to be down by the Magic Finger Lounge anytime tonight, keep away from the Korean at the front door. He's pushing some bad H.
Wow.
I repeat, he's pushing some bad H.
Wow. It's stunning. And you figure then he's the source of information.
Well, they had the real information, and then you had this guy
but
that
you
was
didn't
like
know.
more of a street guy.
But it's that whole way, back then of getting information out, because nobody, the real information, they're not going to tell you that the
H is bad.
The H is bad. They don't even acknowledge that their troops are doing H.
Yeah, they're going to tell you, avoid the fish. We got a bad shipment. Not avoid the H. You're right.
Cream sauce.
Right, and the cream sauce.
You're getting your information from a guy who's in the back of a whorehouse. That's where you got to get. It's like nothing has changed in this country.
Yeah, where's
they're getting their information from us, and we're like two steps
Don't
away.
know anything.
Where's Lee?
Mike. So they think we know because it comes out of their radio. But I heard it. No, I heard it on the radio. Oh, then it must be true. No, we said it.
Where's Lee Abrams?
Steve left a voicemail for him. We're trying to find him.
Yeah.
He's in an email somewhere. Do you get the emails? That's where he is.
Yeah, I get the blogs. Are you friends with him or something?
Well, because I did a bunch of stuff for XM very early.
Day, right?
Back in the day.
When there was 100 people listening.
When there was 6, really.
Sorry, but...
Well, no, it's true. And then I got on and there was 102.
Yeah. All right, we'll play more of this. You left I don't have his email address.
My favorite is they gave me the XM box and all the stuff to actually listen to you guys.
Right.
And it doesn't work.
Well, don't say that, Lewis. We're trying to,
Well, it doesn't.
We're trying to make people think that this is actually good.
It is good, but it doesn't work. Whatever they gave me doesn't work. And then they told me it was because of where I was located. And I said, well, I thought a satellite can just get it to you.
No, you need kind of line of sight.
Cool.
It doesn't go through ceilings or anything.
But I was like on the 40th floor. How much higher do I need to be? I'm like kissing the satellite's ass.
It's got to be like outside, the antenna.
Could someone...
Well, what are they giving it to
Are you
us?
still in the same building on the west side?
I moved. But I'm still in your neighborhood. You still in the neighborhood?
No.
All right, listen.
You out?
I moved to a richer one.
Did you? Where are you living?
145th Street in Edgecombe.
All right. Someone's got to turn this text thing off before I...
Uh-oh. My love, what's the matter?
Do you know how to turn the fucking... They're trying to guess what you're thinking fucking
Predictive text.
Oh, yes, I do.
I'm ready to throw this.
Come here.
I love predictive
I'm trying to get stupid Lee Abrams on the goddamn radio show.
All right, let me see. Do me a favor, open up to the text page, and I'll show you how to do it.
I don't know where that is.
When you're going to send a text.
No, I mean an email. It's in the email.
Wow, this is radio at its most fascinating.
All right, we got more
how
Dave
do you
Rabbit,
text?
though.
How do you text?
We got more Dave Rabbit.
If you
No
could
one's going
call
anywhere.
in and help us learn how to text, that would be really great for us.
Give you a prize.
Cutting Edge Radio, I don't know how to do this.
Hey, give it to Danny. Danny will do it.
He tried all morning. Like the stupid buttons started pushing themselves in my pocket. My penis must have hit it or something.
Yeah, boy, that
Now
giant.
let's say yummy.
I got a giant penis. Don't make
your
fun of my
big- your
penis.
big package.
So it's not as big as Anthony's, but I do okay.
Suck this cock.
Are you packing, Lewis?
Not this morning.
I think you're probably...
I leave mine in the fridge.
I say Lewis is probably 5
don't have
3/4.
You don't have
Perhaps
it?
6
I'm
thin.
thinking he's all ball.
No.
Yeah.
One giant
Old
ball.
taffy bag.
Old taffy bag. Like a hornet's nest.
No, I have detachable. I don't understand why you guys haven't moved to that.
Detachable penises?
Yeah.
I leave it in the fridge. And I'll pick it up when I get home.
Now that it smells like the Chinese food you left next to it.
Let's go back to Dave Rabbit.
Oh, man.
More Dave Rabbit.
Here's another saying from the latrine walls. If you're sitting down taking a crap and reading this, you're probably the only motherfucker in the Republic of Vietnam that knows what he's doing. Here's one that cuts your stereos full blast and blow that motherfucker out in the next room. Hendrix. Fire.
He's talking over the vocals, though.
He doesn't know how to hit the post.
Hendrix Fire. Well, first of all, that song's 2 minutes long, so maybe you should just shut up on that one. Oh, sorry. He's a legend. I like him.
Hendrix.
And now for a word from good old Pete. He's got some information for some of you people out there. Pete, what do you got for us tonight, buddy?
Thank you, Dave. As it is our policy to keep our listeners well informed, we have a special news item that should be of special interest for the patrons of the Castle Club this evening. We have just learned of an MP raid at 10 p.m., or I should say 10:30 p.m. tonight. So, if I were you, ditch the grass, H, speed, and make yourself plenty scarce. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Pete, for those wise words. And I would take heed to what Pete says. He hangs around at all these joints out there, and he knows. He's the nose that knows, if you can dig what I'm saying.
I could dig it.
Was anyone fighting over there? They sound like
Yeah,
they're
right?
having a great time.
Just hanging.
Just hanging out in whorehouses, doing H, listening to Hendrix. That's not a bad life right there.
He had some kind of connection where he would reveal where officers were maybe dining out for the evening. And anytime anytime the MPs were going to set like a drug bust or a surprise inspection, they'd get the information instead of broadcasting right away, right as the MPs are heading to wherever the troops are.
Wow. All right, we got another clip.
What, warn the troops?
Yeah.
We got, he does a dedication to the U.S. Army. I can only imagine what this sounds like.
God.
Instant request line. Spencer Davis Group. I'm a man. This is a dedication to the United States Army. Army sucks. That was called in by General Creighton W. Abrams.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
Called in by General Creighton. Was he in the service?
This guy? Yeah.
I mean, or was he just, did he just show up?
He was in there for a year and then was discharged or released because they screwed up his paperwork. So he was labeled as something called a 1H, which he asked what was, and they said it's classified. We can't tell you.
Classified.
So he did a year and then was released, but decided to hang around and do this radio station.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, so he wasn't Army when this was happening?
No, he'd already served his time.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
So I
right
couldn't
on.
buckle them. I bet you. I wonder if he's afraid of saying who he really is because he's afraid that his Army pension or something will be affected, his military pension.
Yeah.
Here's another quickie from the latrine walls in the Republic of Vietnam. This joker writes, 18 days until I can go home to picket and protest this fucking waste of human lives that lifers and the government call a war. Hoss Cartwright is a fairy. Signed, his mother.
Oh, shit.
Signed his mother. Wow. He he knows how to twist that shit, right?
It's good. It's so solid.
That's anti-military commie this guy was.
No kidding, man. Let's find him.
Can you wait
Been
to play a
talking
clip? I
to.
gotta pee.
Yeah, we'll take a break. So that's it for today. I think we did all our clips. We're going to try to find more, E-Rock?
Yeah.
Good quality? All right. We'll hopefully have more tomorrow. We'll continue down this road with Dave Rabbit from the Big 69.
I got to track him down today. That's great.
And the hits just keep on coming. Hendrix, I know he's singing, but I'm high.
There's one other guy that's. I wonder what you could have to ask Abrams, but there's another guy who had that kind of a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 70s and back that style.
When I first started in, I think I've told the story a couple times, but when I first started in radio, I was just a schmuck. I was like the E-Rock back in the day, and one of my jobs, I had to find all these old DJs from WCMF in Rochester. They were doing like their 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary, something like that. And I had to contact all these people. They knew where they lived, I guess. And I had to try to get all their air checks. And they sent air checks. Every day I'm opening up my mail and finding like this amazing shit. And all these guys were just so fucking high, just babbling about nothing. They're talking about how they're just looking out the window and watching the snowfall. Like they weren't giving you any info. They were just hanging in between the records. I think I got some of those tapes as well. I got to find them. But E-Rock, special guest tomorrow on the show?
Tomorrow, 8 a.m., we will have Dave Rabbit on the phone.
How does he sound?
I haven't talked to him yet. He just sent me an email, said, yeah, he'll do the show tomorrow. And I got to send the info.
Does he know that he's getting a lot of attention today?
Mm-hmm. I explained how much time we dedicated to his material today. And the guy's not very emotional about anything. So he's just like, I'll call tomorrow. Send me the information.
Same delivery?
Through the emails. I have to call him later.
Well, how did you know he wasn't crying when he read it?
Yeah.
What are you, a fucking email psychologist?
No. He's keeping...
Did you look at the return path?
We got more audio from Dave Rabbit. I was reading up on this guy yesterday, and very interesting. You know, he only did 21 shows.
That's it.
Wow. And he's been alive ever since on the internet. People are just freaking out about this guy. He did an underground radio show in Vietnam back in 70, 71 from the back of a whorehouse. I read the whole story last night. It's fascinating. And he was scared S-less because he wasn't sure when he was going to get shut down.
So you basically have you have a clear copy of one of 21 shows.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is really rare.
Yeah, and
item.
he had a lot of shows himself, but his daughter, I guess, taped over him because she wanted some music back in the 80s.
Wait,
and that's what you did. You would, find cassettes and just put music on them.
Yeah.
And she found his very valuable radio shows and recorded over them. Very fascinating guy, but we definitely have more audio from him. Maybe we'll start that after the break, okay?
I thought about him yesterday. I was trying to tell my girlfriend about him, choker, and you can't translate like how great this guy is. Cause I'm like, yeah, he did shows in Vietnam. Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like I can't explain what makes him so good.
Yeah. It's a whole combination of knowing the situation he was in at the time, the voice, and the material's funny. The guy actually has funny lines,
Well, here's a taste from yesterday. We got new stuff for later on, but just in case you missed it yesterday, Dave Rabbit, Underground Radio, Vietnam, 1970.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host for the next 3 hours of hard acid rock music, Dave Rabbit. For those of you who have just recently come into the Republic of Vietnam, I'd like to give you a little information about it so your mind won't be quite so blown when you hear such words as and words of that nature. We're an underground radio station here, and we say what we feel like saying. And we bring the truth to the first termers in the Republic of Vietnam. You got to change your evil ways. We also bring you hard acid rock music all through the night. The up-to-date music of today's American youth.
As he's playing Santana in the background.
Up to date, yeah.
Which was a brand new song, I guess.
Vietnam. I love he says Vietnam.
Vietnam.
He basically didn't want to go home.
The Republic of Vietnam.
He didn't want to go home. He was in the Air Force. He did a little time, and they were going to station him back in the States, doing some mundane job. And he said, "Screw that! I want to stay in Vietnam." And he did. He was able to do that, I think, for a couple of years. And then he did this underground radio show. Did 21 of them. And then that was it. I don't even know why he was shut down. They don't explain that on the internet. So we'll find out today because we're going to talk to Dave Rabbit. We found this guy.
During the night, we're going to be reading some of the things off the latrine walls around the Republic of Vietnam. Here's one of them. While I'm home, my wife is my right hand. While I'm away, my right hand is my wife. Cooking. From the Big 69, The Who, from the rock opera Tommy, Pinball Wizard.
Wow, how cool is that?
That was brand new.
How cool is that? Right.
Pretty new.
What timing he has too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just had it, man. We'll be talking to Dave Rabbit a little later this morning. The Vietnam dude.
Yeah.
That went underground and did a radio show for like 21 days. Just didn't know when he was going to be shut off.
And that guy his own show.
Kind of bummed that he never did radio after that.
Yeah.
It seemed like he just kind of wandered around.
Good voice, good delivery.
Yeah.
He was probably, I don't know, we'll ask him, but it sounds like he was a little left up.
A little bit. Sounded like he was on the H or something.
Yeah.
now that I mentioned him, I got to play another clip from yesterday. We got new ones for today, by the way, but just in case you missed it, Dave Rabbit, 1970-71, Vietnam, underground radio.
Cream with white room. We're gonna let this next one roll on through. Why? Well, for one reason, I've got to go take a big, heavy, and barring unforeseen incidences that may occur during my trip to the latrine, such as being picked up for marijuana or stopping in and getting a quick one of the whores down the hall, I'll be back to finish this goddamn
program.
I would listen to this guy every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
There's one where he plays, like, there was one he has a really cool intro on.
What?
I don't know. It might be a Cream song.
Oh my God, Jimmy! I got 40 clips in front of me. I need a little more info than that.
Did you just say White Room?
Yeah, but he just said White Room, right? Or
Yeah.
Listen to this show today
No, it
because
was,
we're all out of sorts. My back is killing me. Jimmy, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Is that White Room or no?
No, that's
White Room.
I think the intro to this is cool that he does.
On the big 69, and the hits just keep on coming. All right, and we'll have E-Rock figure it out. I don't know. Someone is suggesting you do Dave Rabbit as the pilot.
Yeah, almost.
I'm going to be taking a nap now.
The Republic of Vietnam.
Vietnam. I love the way he says
Vietnam. He does have a Rod Serling thing to his voice.
This guy's the greatest, man. He rules.
He certainly does, Jimmy. He certainly does.
If I could say Vietnam the way he says it, I'd find a reason to say it every 20 minutes in daily conversation.
Cactus. You can't judge a book by looking at its cover. Here's another quickie from the latrines in the Republic of Vietnam. This guy writes, fighting for someone else's freedom is like for someone else's virginity. Well, you can't judge my name by looking at the beat. Power.
He doesn't care the guy's singing. No. Why would he care?
He said blank power. Ladies.
You
got that part.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies. But he used the T. Another clip of Dave Rabbit before we get into the chicken story.
This is so goddamn long.
Yeah, he had a problem with this record he was playing. He played some real long song.
He sounds very stoned.
Yeah, and in the middle of it, he's just pissed that the song is going on forever because he only did a 3-hour show. So he had to break in.
This is so goddamn long. I could have gone downstairs and got a shot of back. Rambling on with more music. Iron Butterfly. Soul Experience. Speed kills. Slow down.
Slow down.
Smoke grass.
Smoke grass.
Underground radio from Vietnam, man. This is, it's a shame he only did 21 shows. God. This is the one Jimmy really likes. It's really quick.
Iron Butterfly. Soul Experience. Lifers are like flies. They both eat and bother people. Right on. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
That's my favorite part. Thank you, Pete.
Yes.
Yeah. They're just having a good old time. This next story is no big deal, but it just reminded me.
That probably ended up being Pete from NEW.
Pete Johnson.
Pete Johnson.
Or Pete Johnson.
Thank you, Pete. No problem. We're being shot at. Where's my chin dildo?
Well, we might have had an engineer that started with Marconi, put on a chin dildo one time.
Yeah.
He didn't want to, but we made him.
He didn't want to.
No.
And, yeah.
All right, anyway.
Lovely lady.
Story for another day. All right, listen, you want to hear more Dave Rabbit or what? His show is called Radio First Termer. Underground radio from 1970, Vietnam. In Saigon, by the way, right? Mm-hmm. Broadcasted from a whorehouse. in Saigon.
Well, swingers, it's that time again for Pete and myself. No, not the end of the program, but both of us are getting kind of horny and kind of hungry at that. So we're going to go down the hall and get us a big, juicy burger. So as soon as we go down and have a quick bite to eat, a box lunch or something, we'll be back for another hour and a half of hard acid rock music. We're now going to return you to the regular crappy programming of the American Forces Vietnamese Network.
Regular crappy program.
Regular crappy programming.
That one was a bit hard to hear, but he wanted to have a blank burger. Remember, broadcasting from a whorehouse, so you figure it out.
Wait.
Yeah.
Turkey.
All you have to know.
Eric Flowers, thank you, Alex from Buffalo.
All you have to
Lead singer
know
of Killers.
to see, because he seems to like this word, but it's very hard to convey to people.
Yeah.
Think of a defunct airline, not Pan Am, the other one, and then just add another letter to the end of it.
Well, you could say add a T to the end of it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
yeah,
not gonna mess
as
you
long
up.
as you don't bring up the airline.
Eastern Airlines?
No, actually, you could say Trans World Airlines, because that's what it was.
Right.
So he seems to really like that word and uses it a lot.
Boy, it's not Pan Amped. Hold on now. Hold on. Value Jet.
No, I didn't sing for Three Dog Night.
Oh, what a fool believes. You.
I'm not going to sing One is the Loneliest Number.
Something's going on. Jack's missing, no nail clipper, and soap walking off.
It happens.
I'm going to figure out this puzzle. Hey,
happens.
Bugging me.
Let's get another clip in here.
From the gigantic 69, Vietnam's only psychedelic FM stereo multiplex station, James Gang, STOP, which could mean stop or state tax on
State tax on, and he's in a whorehouse. So.
Well, you can figure out the P, and
This guy had it all figured out, man. He knew exactly what was going on in that country. Wow.
Oh, I didn't even hear that. Scott from Rochester writes, the best line was, update, he's going to get a box lunch. Song complaint, drug raid, lookout, and then he complains again. Dave Rabbit from 1970, Underground Radio in Vietnam. It's going to be on the show hopefully in a half hour.
If you think you've heard long endings before, you must not have gotten this album. This bastard lasts 3 minutes long. If you can dig it. Here's a special message for all you people out there that are going downtown. Oh, who are already downtown already. The word is that the OSI is out there heavy tonight. So, you worshipers of speed and the weed, be sure and take care. We don't need any of our brothers or sisters in jail. That was a little special, by the way. Just brought in from the hot little hands of my studio engineer, Pete, baby. He's going back out now again to see if he can dig up some more on the scene spots that we can give to you. I know that you're all really interested in some of this crap that we're reading out tonight, but it may save a couple of you, and if we can save a couple, then our purpose has been fulfilled. Oh, wow. Isn't this a groovy ending, though? Really? These are the only I know that can play 4 chords and make it last 5 minutes.
He's disgusted.
Who was the band?
Yeah, what was the band?
Yeah, what the hell was that?
I don't know which song that was. I didn't recognize it. What was the deal there? He just was bothered by the fact that it was going on forever?
Yeah, he wanted to talk again, and the song just kept going and going. I don't know if it came through, but at the beginning you hear the mic come on and he just goes... He's so disgusted.
Just annoyed.
I love the fact that he didn't like that crap that a lot of people did back then. That whole, just jamming for an hour at the end of a song. Good for him.
Yeah.
He likes the hits, and then he likes talking.
Well, we have the last part of that bit because he's still pissed that the song is going on, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a longer song than this? Right on, brother. If they can dig it, we can dig it. Tiptoe through the tulips, we will tiptoe together, 69 all the time. Me and it is so fine. Would you believe Pete, we're coming to the end of the song? Fantastic.
This guy is a classic. Yeah, 69 was used in his channel ID, I know. The big 69. That was the frequency he picked. He could have picked anything because he went underground.
He's wild with that one.
Oh, yeah. All right. Hey, more Dave Rabbit as we go on a break because we're getting ready for the big interview with this guy.
Yeah.
This, I guess he's kind of a legend. I don't know. I don't know what he is. He's very mysterious, right, E-Rock?
Mysterious.
E-Rock was talking to the guy, and he didn't even want to admit that he was the guy for a while. He was
really? What's he doing?
A bit of paranoia? What was going on, E-Rock?
I guess there's a lot of people trying to track down who the real guy is, and the guy just values his privacy. He didn't want to admit to a lot of things. So
as you're talking, I'd like to throw a fastball at your glasses.
Oh, and E-Rock just goes, of course.
Well, he's right, but it was only because he was stammering through that very...
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric.
All right, well, we're going to talk to him. He did underground radio in Vietnam, Saigon. He only did 21 shows.
That's it.
Because they were chasing him. They were trying to figure out where this guy was broadcasting from, and turned out he was broadcasting from a whorehouse. He rented one of the rooms that they needed.
And they couldn't even find him? Were they looking for him? Is that the problem?
What I read, man, every day he was paranoid that he was going to get caught.
Wow.
So he was scared. And
there's so many whorehouses there, too, in Vietnam. It's probably hard to find one whorehouse.
Right.
Probably 3 or 4.
Perhaps more than that, Ant.
And he had to get the word out that he was doing this underground radio because they had the what was it called? The Army, the government radio that they set up for the guys. What was it called again? The Armed Forces
Vietnam Network,
which is like crap.
They kind of by the book.
By the
radio,
book,
yeah.
And a lot of the guys knew it was crap, so they figured out how to break into that broadcast. So this guy could say, "Look, starting in a few minutes, I'm going to be doing this crazy show on
pirated it,
on the frequency 69," and that's how it started. And then it just kind of blew up for a short amount of time, 21 days, and that was it. Then done, and then he just disappeared.
Yeah,
and he had something. He should have been doing radio all along.
Yep.
Here's another clip from his underground radio show.
Here's another Dave Rabbit philosophy: candy is sweet, but won't rot your teeth. I'm not saying Vietnamese, that is. American won't rot your teeth.
Words to live by, Lloyd.
Words to live by. And then he's got a hitchhiker commercial here.
And now here's one of our most requested commercials, our hitchhiker commercial. Listen closely and take heed.
Say, do you have advantage of a Jeep, pickup, or deuce and a half?
No.
Do you get to drive where you want to go?
No.
Well, here's something to think about.
Okay.
Have you ever seen some troop trudging along the roadside and thought about giving him a lift?
Many times.
Don't.
Why?
Instead, run the son of a bitch over.
Yeah.
I mean, after all, what are they gonna do? Send you to Vietnam?
Fooled you, sister. They already did. Right on, as Pete would say. Oh, wow.
Right on, as Pete would say.
All right, let's be honest.
This guy's smooth.
Just like our show, not every bit's going to work for Dave Rabbit. That one fell a little short.
I kind of like that whole run him over with the Jeep, though. That's nice.
Today, the Base Exchange has received a new shipment of items to really blow your mind. Mr. Pumpright told us today that the BX now has in stock the following non-rationed items for all you swinging first-termers here in the Republic of Vietnam. This is a f***ing joke. LSD, marijuana, goofballs, red eyes, grass, incense. And for those of you who are just starting out, airplane glue. Yes, take advantage of the big savings at the BX on these fantastic new items. Stock up now and avoid the rush. Remember, the money you spend at the BX is eventually returned to you in other fun ways. This is a f***ing joke. Wow, really.
How wasted was this guy?
You know, Vietnam sounded fun. They made Vietnam sound fun.
Well, that was his goal. He was trying to, get a laugh going for the guys.
Get a little laugh.
As they were scared S-less out
Or
there in the jungle.
Bouncing Betty removes your manhood.
Looking for Charlie.
Wonderful.
Would they?
Oh, yeah.
What's it, Bouncing Betty?
It's a landmine that you would step on, and a small charge would go boonk and fire an explosive up just at groin level, where it would explode and remove your manhood.
Were there guys that lost their general?
Oh yeah, plenty. Their strategy was with mines was more to wound the soldier than to kill them, because a wounded soldier takes out at least 3 guys, because you need 2 guys to carry back the wounded soldier. So instead of killing him, which would take out the one guy, they would wound him in horrible fashion like that. And
it's also more demoralizing when you see people alive with no legs and missing penis. I mean, dead is dead. I caught one, but I mean, it sucks. But to have a guy alive and see him living like that, or, using a bag because he's been blown apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
One more clip before break.
And here's a dedication to the lifers around the Republic of Vietnam who during the day act establishment and at night turn into swingers. Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix.
All right, we're going to be talking to Dave Rabbit, hopefully right after the break. So, getting ready to talk to Dave Rabbit about his underground radio show that he did in Vietnam for 21 days.
Damn.
People are talking about it 40 years later.
Yeah. Amazing.
38 years later, whatever. He's around 60 years old now.
Is he crazy?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
Like,
I don't know.
Senile. Remember when we talked to the guy that did the cartoon voices?
Oh, God.
We were all psyched and everything, and he turned out to be a nut.
Not a nut. He was
senile.
I think he was suffering from Alzheimer's.
Senile. Great.
What was his name again? Don
something.
Yeah.
He
Don
did
Messick.
the voice of Ricochet Rabbit.
The voice of every
Bam,
cartoon character.
all the Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
And Anthony being really into voices and stuff, we thought this would be a treat.
Cartoons.
And we're saying how great he is, and he's going, you mean me? Yes.
You mean me?
We'll have to play that at a later date. Someone remind us of that one.
But I hope this guy's of sound mind.
I think he is. All right, I got to interrupt this because we got Dave Rabbit on the phone. Dave.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, brothers. What's happening?
Well, we've been having a lot of fun playing some clips from your underground radio show from 1970, Saigon, Vietnam.
I love it, brother. I love it, yeah.
And I got to tell you, I started radio in college, and I was in a fraternity, and this guy Stork and this guy, I think Joe also had it, or I think we might have got it from Joe, had this tape of you doing First Termer. It was called First Termer, right?
Yeah, radio First Termer. Uh-huh.
And we were amazed by this cassette, and no one knew anything about you. No one knew anything about the show. And we would listen to it every once in a while. And then I got a copy of it. I just threw it in a box. And I don't know, 15, 20 years go by. And all of a sudden I'm unloading my apartment. And I find this thing. And I'm like, oh, my God, I used to love this tape. And I brought it on into the show. And we've been playing it and just freaking out about it.
Yeah, E-Rock sent me a copy of the show yesterday. I wasn't available to listen to it, but yeah, you guys rock and roll, brother. You really do.
Well, you had quite the show back then. I mean, what was it? Were you a pirate station? Were you taking over a signal? How did it actually work?
Well, I mean, Reader's Digest version, it actually started when I was on my second tour in Fan Rang. I was associated with a legal AFVN radio station called Radio Fan Rang, and my roommate, Jim Brookshire, is the one that got me involved as his studio engineer. And as it turned out, when I left that assignment to go to Saigon, we had a rocket attack that morning that I was leaving to go back home on R&R. And a rocket landed in our room, killed Jim.
Wow.
And, if I had been laying there, I'd been dead too. So it really rocked me to my roots, because this was just a generous, sweet, loving guy that would have, done anything for anybody in humanity. And it was a senseless war to begin with. And the fact that he was taken angered me tremendously. So when we got to Saigon, my mission was to do something that AFVN was never going to do, or Stars and Stripes, and that was to bring rock and roll to the troops on the front lines. And I'm talking the Army and Marines, the guys that were every day lugging through the, all the swamp and the forest and the trees and all that. And then that's what we did. And, it took us 2 months in pre-production just to get everything together to where we could even get on air.
So you decided you couldn't go onto a a regular radio station. How did you decide where to broadcast from? I mean, this was done basically from a whorehouse, right?
Yeah, I mean, Pete Sadler, not his real name, was a frequent flyer at Madame Ho's. And so anyway, he says, I said, we need a place, and we couldn't do it on the base, obviously. I mean, that would have been a little no-brainer. So he says, well, yeah, let's go down to Madame Ho's. And I said, okay, sure, and we met Madame Ho and offered her, gave her one of those Vito Corleone things, an offer she couldn't refuse. Which basically was she got to keep the mattresses and all the equipment when we got through. Wow. Kind of barter situation,
Well, they set up the studio by, I should just jump in real fast. They set up the studio by lining the room with mattresses and stuff to keep out the outside noises, keep out the moanings that is going on down the hall.
There was a lot of that too, brother.
Yeah.
Man.
So you set up in this whorehouse, and how long did you actually do the show for?
We lasted 21 days, and mainly because we didn't want to go to Long Binh, which was the prison in Vietnam. They were really after us. The base commander, I don't know whether you played that little snippet yet, but the base commander was not a big fan of Radio First Termer or Dave Rabbit. He made it a vow to find me and toss my rabbit buttocks into the prison system. And I just, there was something about the prison life that just didn't appeal to me. So even though we had military police and officers and lifers that were actually protecting us, we had to shut it down. There was just no way we could have continued on more than 21 days. And so we demolished everything. We gave the equipment to Madame Ho, and then we got rid of everything, burned everything. Where there was no trace that connected us to the show. And we walked out the back door of Madame Ho's house and, and never looked back.
Yeah, you were saying some ballsy stuff, for back then and for, being in the military especially and broadcasting to the military. I'm sure they didn't really enjoy some of the stuff you were saying about the, lifers and the brass and whatnot.
Well, the officers, there's always a percentage of them that couldn't take a joke, as well as the lifers, but you would be real surprised how many huge fans we had that were in the officer ranks as well as the top military ranks of this, the regular stripers.
So you did this radio show for 3 weeks, and were you surprised that the tapes had gone out all over the world?
I tell you what really blew me away. I mean, as I say, we walked out on the 21st of January of 71 and never looked back. In the summer of 1982, I'm at a party here in Dallas, and I'm talking to this guy, and we're just, shooting the breeze, and it turns out he was in the Army in Germany. We spot in Germany. And he said, well, what did you do? I said, I was in Vietnam. He said, hey, did you ever hear of Dave Rabbit? I said, yeah. And he goes, well, man, he says, that guy really ruled. Did you listen to him live? I said, yeah, I really did. And then one thing led to another, and I said, well, you're not going to believe this, but I'm Dave Rabbit. And he goes, nah, you're not Dave Rabbit. And so I did, I remembered a couple of the bits, about the toothpick in the toilet and the crabs pole vaulting and stuff. And so I kind of did that. And he says, oh my God. And he actually hits the floor and starts bowing down to me. And I'm going, what is all this about? He says, man, you're a legend in Germany. I'm going, how am I a legend in Germany? Because I'm thinking, the last show we did was the 21st of January, 71. This is 82. How can I be a legend in Germany? And then that's when I found out that somebody recorded one of the shows, and I have a good idea that it was the radio relay guys that were bumping our signal throughout Cambodia, Laos, and Southeast Asia.
All illegally, by the way.
Yeah,
that took balls on their part. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's when I first found out that a show existed. And February 9th, 2006, I get on the internet, the kids want to know stuff about Vietnam, and I'm Googling, which I never do. I hate to Google. Well, occasionally on Friday nights I like Googling, but only if I have a bar of soap. Anyway, so what happens is that I get on the internet and I find this site that says audio clips from Vietnam, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. And I see when it says Radio First Terminal. Well, I click on it, then I find Will Snyder's site, who created the original Dave Rabbit home, and get on that and see that he has these clips. And then I start Googling and find AboveTopSecret.com, which is my family right now that I have with the ATS Mix Show. And then one thing leads to another. And it's just been a crazy, crazy ride. It really has.
Yeah, because, when I found out you only did 21 shows, that amazed me. Obviously, the people that taped these things thought it was so unusual and so different and so cool that they obviously wanted to trade them and give them to other people. And then that's where this whole thing grew. Because no one gets popular from doing 21 radio shows. No one.
Well, I did.
No, I understand that. But
that means live. Like, it's all...
Dave,
like,
Dave, that was actually a compliment. Like, no one just does 21 shows and that's it. You obviously had something. You basically had the voice of the soldiers. That's why they could relate to you. And that's why this thing becomes a phenomenon, because they're like, wow, you got to hear this tape. We all remember when we were a lot younger, if we heard something really cool, you could say Jerky Boys or whatever, you wanted to pass this tape on to others. And that's how this whole thing ended up just becoming huge.
Yeah, and it's one of those things to where, you get something, you pass it on to a buddy and kind of thing. And that's really how it grew. Conservatively, we have 23 million military and civilian fans worldwide right now. Strictly from, them finding the internet, they finding the stuff on the websites and stuff, and strictly, passing it on to somebody. That gives you a great idea of how grassroots movements can really be very effective.
Right.
What did you do when you came back from Vietnam? What happened with your life? Did you do radio? Did you pursue it at all?
No, and here's the weird thing. I came back home. My family had a business here in Dallas. My dad and mom were not of the best health, and so I took that over and kind of put my radio career on hold. And then when I got involved with AboveTopSecret.com and my partners, Simon Gray, Mark Allen, Stephen Melzer, Bill Irwin, and, of course, my partner, Johnny Anonymous, we started the ATS Mix Show about 8 months ago and started doing a podcast. And then, one thing led to another, and the show got real popular, and we got huge fan base going. And now, as I told E-Rock yesterday, we're on the verge of going nationwide syndication in the next 3 or 4 months. So it's a pretty amazing ride. 37 years later, but...
Yeah, so you walk away from radio 37 years ago, which obviously you had the passion to do it. That had to kill you, and you only got back into it 8 months ago?
Well, actually, yeah, we started the show 8 months ago, right.
And you didn't do any radio in between for the most part?
No.
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
What kind of work did you do?
Well, I don't want to tell too much about that because everybody will be going on the doors. I sold my business, actually, last May and decided to do this full time. And And that's kind of, I took a leap of faith. I figured, if I'm going to do this, at 59, boys, I know you were using your calculators trying to figure out how old I am.
Yeah.
But at 59, I figured, if I'm going to do it, I got to go do it now. So I sold my business and really turned my back. But basically, to answer your question, it was just a business that was in marketing. I was in marketing in a general degree.
Have you kept your identity private for all these years about who Dave Rabbit's real name?
Oh, yeah. In fact, when I went to AboveTopSecret.com originally, when I Googled it, and I thought, what the heck is AboveTopSecret.com? And I click, and this guy by the name of John Jeremiah, and his post is still there on the site. He thinks I'm a conspiracy theory of the government, and that the United States government put me in Saigon to, for some kind of war effort kind of thing. And I'm thinking, this is nuts. This is crazy. And from that, a love affair began between me and AboveTopSecret.com because I lovingly call it Disneyland for nuts. But, boy, it's just so much more than that,
Yeah, it looked like you guys were having a great time.
Why would you? Why do you keep it? Why do you not want to reveal who you are?
Well, one reason is that, my wife, Bunny, and my son, Jack, and Peter, and of course, Babs and Bugs, it's amazing how many people will see me on the street and they don't have a clue who I am. See, I like going in my life in stealth mode.
I kind of like that. I don't know who you really are.
Well, that's the mystique about it. If everybody knew, that I'm really, George Stephanopoulos with ABC Radio, that would really blow the whole thing, they just couldn't identify with that.
It's actually Rush Limbaugh's alter ego.
I love that.
So you're doing the show every night with your pals and stuff, and every day you're thinking this is going to be the last show. There's no way I could keep this going, right?
Oh, well, every day was a gamble. It really was, because, they were trying to find us with triangulations and all kinds of stuff. And it was really impossible for them to do it because of the radio relay guys. We were on 3 hours only, during that window of opportunity. So, they tried. They tried real hard. But here's why we stopped. The military police, the OSI, Office of Special Investigation, the military, these guys, a lot of them were our friends. They knew about us. They were encouraging the show to, get on the air. So when they got to a point to where their supervisors were saying, look, there's no reason in the world that you're not finding these guys unless you're implicated with him. And they started getting a lot of pressure. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. A very good friend of mine in the OSI office comes up to me and says, Dave, you got to stop. He says, because if you don't, we're all going to go down. And I said, okay, that's it. And that's when we stopped.
So they protected you for as long as they could until it was obvious they were protecting you.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And you come back and you live your life. You go 37 years and you start up again. And did you know that there were so many recordings of your show floating around, like different shows, or did you only have one copy yourself?
Well, we found a reel-to-reel that was some trooper found in his. It's kind of like Opie found in his little box and stuff. This guy had a reel-to-reel. He had an old TIAC. And we basically paid him money to transfer it into a digital format for us. Wow. And the ones that we have right now on the Dave Rabbit site, the pod site, which is DaveRabbit.podomatic.com, has the remastered version of the entire show. And plus we've got, the Iraq show, which I did as a 35th anniversary with a new team. But yeah, there's over 500 bits of Dave Rabbit stuff on that site. Because I can't put everything on AboveTopSecret.com because we're G-rated.
Right. Yeah, right.
We're a family site. I can't put a lot of the Dave Rabbit material there. But those guys that really like that kind of stuff, there's a ton of it on the DaveRabbit.podomatic.com site.
What are you doing now as far as your podcast? What kind of a show you're doing?
Well, it's about what we are, which is our ecosystem that was created by the genius Simon Gray, who was the founder of AboveTopSecret.com. We lovingly call them the Three Amigos. And basically, it's about alternative subjects such as conspiracy theories, 9/11 conspiracy theories, UFOs, aliens. Just anything that you can imagine that would be a topic of conspiracy or whatever would be what we're talking about. They have weaponry, resources and uploads, really above top secret societies. It's just a smorgasbord, if you will, of every alternative topic you can possibly think of.
Is it kind of like, I'm sorry to interrupt, Dave, is it kind of like a coast-to-coast, like Art Bell type subject?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because in my respects to George and Art Bell and those guys over at Coast to Coast, but what we do is we take the same subjects, but instead of being there like two squirrels going 69, which is exciting for a few minutes and then it kind of loses its appeal, we put levity and humor and put a lot more at ease with our guests, and we just have a good time. We rock and roll when we get with our people. We rock. We give them a little taste of Dave Rabbit, but on a FCC compliant basis, if you know what I mean.
Very nice. Well, Dave, we definitely have to take a break here. This was a pleasure, though.
It's great talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I have to tell you guys were an inspiration. We just donated $25,000 to the Girl Scout organization for their new drive to sell garlic butter sauce.
Hey, can you do a little Dave Rabbit as we go to break here, or what?
Oh, sure, yeah. You want to just to do a typical outro here?
Yeah, sure.
All right, listen, on behalf of the Opie and Anthony show here in New York City, this is Dave Rabbit. Peace.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Good luck, buddy.
We'll be in touch, all right?
Brother.
All right, there he goes, Dave Rabbit.
Guy's a 21-day legend.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
And it lasted that long.
Yeah.
Cool story.
Absolutely. Why don't we go back in time? Dave Rabbit, Vietnam, 1970, doing the underground radio show that we just discussed for the last few minutes.
Good evening. This is Air Force Sergeant Dave Rabbit.
And this is Nugent.
With tonight's news. In Washington today, President Nixon was officially charged in connection with the My Lai massacre. Although the president was nowhere near Vietnam at the time, higher-ranking officials are positive that there is some connection. What, however, they aren't sure of. No comment from the president was available. Nugent?
In Alabama, Governor George Wallace is announced as his running mate for the presidential election as H. Rap Brown. Rap was not available for comment, but his associates say it's the happiest day of his life.
A blissful event has occurred for Tiny Tim and his wife, 19-year-old Miss Vicky. They have announced the coming birth of their first child. When asked about the nervous tension and stress of having a first child, Tiny Tim stated that he's sure he'll have no problem giving birth the first time. He also stated that the baby will be breastfed. Miss Vicky also said that Tiny will have to have his chest shaved so the baby won't gag on the hairs.
Finally in the news, Lyndon Johnson was arrested in his Texas home for indecent public exposure after he led a group of Vietnam protesters down Main Street. Johnson was also cited on 10 counts of public vulgarity and 1 count for shooting the finger at an Air Force officer. Preliminary hearing dates have not been set yet.
And that's the news. This is Air Force Sergeant Dave Rabbit.
And Nugent.
Wishing you a very good evening.
The voice of news, information, and hard acid rock music. This is Radio First Termer at 69 megacycles on your FM dial.
Wow.
Little pieces of history. It's pretty cool, you know?
Absolutely.
Hearing the, what was going on back then, them goofing on it.
Anthony from Boston, do you think Good Morning Vietnam's Robin Williams is based on Dave Rabbit? Absolutely not.
No, Adrian Cronauer, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
he was around the same time, obviously, but Dave Rabbit was doing his own thing. Very, very different, actually, because Robin Williams, the character he played was high energy. This guy was all about just kind of sounding or being stoned.
I've had a few requests for some pictures of myself. So some of you people wanted to hang some on your walls or in the latrines or something. But to tell you the honest-to-God truth, I have really no pictures of myself that can be made into posters. However, I do have one picture that some of you might want. It's a picture of myself and my ex-girlfriend going in her bathtub. Now, if you'd like a copy of this, which is blown up, by the way, into an 8x10 glossy colored photograph, just drop me a card to Dave Rabbit, Pornographic Picture Poster, APO in Country, 96969, and I'll try to get one to you. More music now. Donovan, hurdy-gurdy man.
Man. Hurdy-gurdy man.
He was making up all this crap, because who would want a picture of him? He only broadcast for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know?
Although he's probably getting a lot of letters, though. I mean, he had 20-something million people.
He probably that guy would make an impact pretty quickly with the soldiers, I think.
Yeah.
Mouthing off like that about stuff.
Cornball radio they were used to.
Yeah.
And then he's just dropping F-bombs
Yeah.
and taking a dump.
Talking about screwing his girl and the whores, and it's good stuff.
In answer to some of your questions as what the base commander thinks of me, here are his exact words.
If I ever meet that son of a bitch, I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna hit that right square in the goddamn teeth. More than once.
Would you believe that's what the base commander thinks of me and my nasty ways? Tisk, tisk, tisk. You, sir. You notice I emphasize the word sir. He has an inferiority complex. I mean, after all, anybody that dresses up in women's dresses and carries a velvet purse has to be a little bit weird.
What a set, man.
No kidding. And finally, the last clip, the show ending. This was the last show right here?
Yeah, this is the ending of that show.
Of this particular show.
Well, unfortunately, Pete, it's that time again for good old Pete and myself. We've just about reached the ending of another radio first terminus for the night. And we'd like to leave you with a few closing thoughts. First off, remember, there is no black power or white power in Vietnam. There's only one power, and that's rabbit power. Another thought, when you go downtown, be sure to take enough rubbers along in case you want to go for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 like Pete does. Well, Pete, I've enjoyed it. It's been another fantastic night of cutting the Air Force to pieces and saying nasty things on the air. And hopefully, if we're not thrown in jail by tomorrow night, we'll be able to come back again at 8 o'clock and blow your mind with more hard acid music. So, on behalf of myself and for good old Pete, we'd like to say goodnight to each other. Pete, let's say goodnight to each other. Good night, Pete. Good night, Danny. Sounds professional, doesn't it? Huh? Be tuning in again tomorrow night. Please, don't whack off. Listen to Radio First Termer instead. It's more filling. Okay, Pete. We haven't practiced this, folks. This is our new ending. All right, we say good night, Vietnam, right? All right, wait a second. Okay, folks, this is going to be one of the real biggies. Are you ready for this? Wait a minute. Don't start counting yet, Pete. 1, 2, 3. Good night, Vietnam.
I couldn't make out what he said there at the end.
He had that Good Morning Vietnam.
Huh?
Didn't you write that he had good morning? He ended it with Good Morning Vietnam?
No. He ended it with Good Evening Vietnam.
Good evening,
okay.
Vietnam.
Okay.
All right, we got to take a break. We're real late, but there you go. Dave Rabbit. That was very, very interesting. And here we are at XM Satellite Radio, where we can say fuck
And shit. And piss.
That's right.
And tits. And 69ing.
and twat. Jesus. Dave Rabbit, by the way. We're going to try to get him to do a little XM show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of people shouting that out at the other joint on Instant Feedback.
They were doing shout-outs?
They were screaming, "Get this guy on XM!"
Scream-outs?
I think people would be disappointed.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to just, like you said,
He lets sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah.
But it's not shitting on him. It's just the reality of
Yeah.
a lot of times it's situational, and he's a 60-year-old guy. He's a mature man.
Yeah.
It's not to knock him.
Back then, it was, what it was. It was a
Fucking
young
20.
guy. You're in the middle of fucking hellhole, and your friend is getting blown up.
I bet he still does. He just started doing radio again after 30 some odd years. I bet you he would do a good radio show, but it wouldn't
Absolutely.
be, what we hear on those tapes.
There's a magic in those tapes. It's almost like 50s music always depresses me because the era is dead and gone. It's something so weird about 50s music. It really makes me sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's something magical, as corny as that is, about what he's doing there.
Mhm.
But so much of it is situational. He's just maverick in
It's
Vietnam.
such a time. Yeah, it was
Plus
the time.
To hear his voice a bit older
Mhm.
and crystal clear, would take away from it.
Yeah.
Remember some of those old sitcoms, and they would come back and they look just a little older.
Christmas special.
And now they're in color instead of black and white, and it just bummed you out.
Yeah.
It just bummed you out, man.
Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Like when they did the honeymooners thing. Didn't Jackie Gleason have a mustache?
Oh, God,
really?
yeah.
Yeah, like someone we know.
And
Buford T. Cumia.
You looked a lot taller on your presidential speeches.
The greatest. Hey, boy.
Boy. So,
where's Sheriff Branford?
I think he might be able to pull off that look.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. I'm actually already used to it.
Yeah.
Good.
He actually looks a little younger.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I heard.
You do.
Could always use that.
When guys with goatees shave their mustaches completely, my friend Kenny did it years ago, and then Keith Robinson did it. Their face always reminds me of a vagina. Like they have like a vagina mouth. It's just
vagina mouth.
Weird looking to see it without hair like that. Yeah.
You want to use it like one? You fucking
love
little
to.
whore.
I'd love to, especially now because if I turn you sideways, only half of it has hair, like one lip. It's so creepy looking.
Transmission 11, receive 0500 hours. Sector King, Zulu King.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host for the next 3 hours of hard acid rock music, Dave Rabbit.
Starting at 10:15 tomorrow, we'll be airing the entire Dave Rabbit tape that Opie found in its entirety.
Right.
Don't adjust your radios. The sound quality isn't going to be great, but you will be listening to the stone stylings of Dave Rabbit. That's tomorrow, starting at 10:15, only on XM202.
Fuck it. Before it fucks you.
Lee Abrams on the phone. I don't call him stupid Lee Abrams when he's actually on the phone. Lee!
Hey!
What's up, Lee?
Oh, not too much. Everything's under control.
We asked you yesterday, you don't know anything about Dave Rabbit, first of all?
Oh, yeah, I got that note. I just know that he was one of these guys that had this, underground radio station in Vietnam and was saying, the war is bad and beaming it at all the soldiers and was kind of doing, military underground radio and kind of a legendary thing. And the only thing I know is I heard he's, living in Hawaii as a building contractor or something. But kind of this thing that, you hear about and heard about him and read about it over the years, but really didn't know too much about it other than having the balls to do an underground radio station in Vietnam in 1969 or whatever.
71.
Yeah, 71, and he called today from Dallas, and he's starting to do radio again. I'm thinking we should try to figure something out with XM.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. We'll get
Saturday Night Virus
from him.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Put him on the show.
And just, I'm sure he wasn't following some format and hot clock, so it's probably pretty inventive.
Right, you're right. He was actually genuinely funny.
Yeah, he was just talking about whores and blowjobs and hard-ons and
talking
drugs.
over the fucking lyrics.
Oh, yeah, just talking through the entire song. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he was great.
So
I'm not giving a shit. That's great. I wish there was more of that today.
He means that, Mike. No, he really does. Yeah, he's sick of regular radio. Sick of it.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Right.
It's like, God, there's this FCC mandated law to be lame.
Yeah.
God.
An underground DJ from Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
He did 21 shows, and then they shut him down, and he had to run away, and then he just, left radio for 30-some-odd years.
Wow.
And I found a tape, and we've been playing some of, the breaks. For example, this is uncensored from earlier.
Well, swingers, it's that time again for Pete and myself. No, not the end of the program, but both of us are getting kind of horny and kind of hungry at that. So we're going to go down the hall and get us a big, juicy twat burger. So as soon as we go down and have a quick bite to eat, a box lunch or something, we'll be back for another hour and a half of hard acid rock music. We're now going to return you to the regular crappy programming of the American Forces Vietnamese Network.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Fucking, what balls on him, man?
Yeah.
Just a
From the gigantic 69, Vietnam's only psychedelic FM stereo multiplex station, James Gang. STOP, which could mean stop or state tax on pussy.
Can you imagine, especially with the way things were so restricted in the late like, can you imagine hearing this on the fucking radio? Oh, the soldiers must have loved this fucking dude.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, the photo one. This is what he said. Just setting this up for tomorrow. We're going to do the whole thing tomorrow at 10:15 in its entirety.
I've had a few requests for some pictures of myself. So some of you people wanted to hang some on your walls or in the latrines or something. But to tell you the honest-to-God truth, I have really no pictures of myself that can be made into posters. However, I do have one picture that some of you might want. It's a picture of myself and my ex-girlfriend going 69 in her bathtub. Now, if you'd like a copy of this, which is blown up, by the way, into an 8x10 glossy colored photograph, just drop me a card to Dave Rabbit, Pornographic Picture Poster, APO in Country 96969, and I'll try to get one to you. More music now. Donovan, hurdy-gurdy man.
The guy rules. Yeah, he absolutely does. And then one more, and then we'll get out of here for today.
In answer to some of your questions as what the base commander thinks of me, here are his exact words.
If I ever meet that son of a bitch, I'm going to walk up and I'm going to hit that motherfucker right square in the goddamn teeth. More than once.
Would you believe that's what the base commander thinks of me and my nasty ways? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Fuck you, sir. You noticed I emphasized the word sir. He has an inferiority complex. I mean, after all, anybody that dresses up in women's dresses and carries a velvet purse has to be a little bit weird.
He's a classic.
Transmission 11, receive 0500 hours. Sector King, Zulu King.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host for the next 3 hours of hard acid rock music, Dave Rabbit.